I am an immigrant. Well, actually, I'm British, born and raised. Brixton was where I spent most of my days, but I'm also Moroccan. So what do I mean by I am an immigrant? Well, the term means someone who comes to live in a foreign country permanently, for reasons I'll explain before you exhale and claim blasphemy. You see, it's a term synonymous with negativity, i.e. they're all coming to steal our money, ruin our healthcare, take our welfare. Oh yeah, they're all a bunch of terrorists, murderers and rapists. Well, the brown ones at least. You see, this is some people's view, and it's far from true, because in history we learn of all of these nations invading new places, assigning new names to old ages, like the Anglo-Saxons who invaded the Romans to create what we call today Britain, and before them were the Celts. So to say the least, we're all a bunch of immigrants. And it's the same for our ancestors across the pond, who politely told the Aborigines to lock themselves up in chains so they can begin the process of change. 90% wiped out to date. And it's the same for the great US of A, home of the brave. No wait, home of the immigrant, where a bunch of European colonies decided to create the American dream, so displaced the natives, sending a dose of freedom down their spines. Genocide, or whatever you want to call it. All of these great nations have one thing in common. They were all built upon immigration. I am an immigrant. You see, in England we have a saying, once you make your bed, you must lay in it. So the fact is, for all of those who complain at the wave of immigrants, well, let me tell you of your history and current foreign policy, and how it was your empires that started this tragic comedy. Like the story of distant nations going to new places, forcing their kings, queens and false deities upon them. How we left them a business card in the form of theft, slavery, death and international debt. How we decided to create democracy in all of these countries by spreading bombs and thieving resources. How we decided to create the war on terror to expel terror by causing terror to innocent victims. So the fact is, we created all these immigrants. I am an immigrant. You see, I live on a place called Earth, right? I'm sure you've heard of it. It has a bunch of leaders and nations with superiority complexes who use the rule to divide and conquer to keep us in line. I mean, all of these nations are man-made. It wasn't carved into the continents or crust. I can say that with confidence, trust. So to restrict our movements to borderlines is ludicrous, as our ancestors moved around to find peace, flee oppression, or to be honest, just wanted something different. And we don't control where we're born, so why put ourselves on a deluded pedestal? I mean, I get it. You don't want a bunch of guys to wreak havoc on your nation, take what's yours and cause devastation. So you view their only mission to take your position, so you label them illegitimate, illiterate, ignorant individuals. But as we discussed before, that's not their aim. You see, I'm not really nationalistic. Don't get me wrong, I love tea and biscuits, but I won't die for a flag or a leader who's oppressive. I'll die for freedom and the right to live, whether you're a black guy or white lass. Hell, I'll even die for the right to have fish and chips on a Friday night if that's what you like. But to place a flag or nationalism over the need to help people is the issue. I am an immigrant. You see, I have a solution to all our problems. When you see someone different, simply say hi, how are you? And you'll find that they're just like you. Despite the different levels of melanin and a chemical we don't control, or the difference in religion, we all want the same things. Love and affection, protection from harm, a roof over our heads and food on our plates, to do our daily deeds in peace, or to do whatever we want behind the comfort of our own four walls. So remember this, yes, I am an immigrant, and I hope you realise you're one too, but at the same time none of us are, because we're all from Earth, right? Unique yet the same in fundamental ways, and no matter what heritage, somewhere along the lines your ancestors fled, looking for a place to raise their babies and future generations. And know this, every empire has fallen, and the one we're in will be no different. So maybe soon we'll be in their shoes, but hopefully we'll be embraced rather than viewed as a symbol of hate. I am an immigrant. Peace.